They say the first 10 days of owning a 3D printer are the most dangerous for your sleep schedule and your filament budget. I just picked up the Bambu Labs P1S, and honestly, I haven't turned it off once. In this video, I'm going to show you everything I printed during my first 10 days, from the just for fun toys to the practical stuff that actually saved me money. I'll also share what worked, what totally surprised me, and a few things I learned the hard way so you don't have to. Day 1. The Gateway Print. On day 1, I went straight for the classic, a Pokeball. This was my very first time using the AMS, the Automatic Material System, and I was a little nervous about how the color switching would go. It was printed in multiple pieces, and the coolest part was that it just snapped together perfectly. No glue, no mess, just pure satisfying tolerances. It took about 3 hours and used around 67 grams of filament. Watching the printer poop out the waste plastic during the color change was a new experience, because seeing the final result come out so clean convinced me that the multicolor printing is a total game changer. It's sitting on my desk right now as a trophy of day 1 success. Day 2. The Money Saver. By day 2, I wanted to see if this machine could actually be useful. I have the DJI Mic Mini, and I've been looking for a handle for it. I found a model online and printed it in PETG for that extra durability. This is where 3D printing starts to feel like a superpower. Similar handles sell for about $10 or $15 on Amazon. It fits perfectly back into the original DJI Mic Mini bag, which is a huge win. This was the moment I realized this printer wasn't just a toy. It was a tiny factory in my office. Day 3. The print-in-place magic. On day 3, I was looking at the small 250-gram sample spools that came with the printer. I wanted to finish them off, but I didn't want to waste the plastic on something useless. I settled on a AA and AAA battery case. Now, if you're new to printing, this is what we call a print-in-place design. The hinges are all printed as one connected unit. They just work right off the build plate. All I had to do was add a small spring and a button. It's rugged, it's functional, and it totally cleared up the loose battery mess in my junk drawer. On day 4, the aha moment. Day 4 was just for fun. Or so I thought. I printed a multicolor fidget spinner ring. It's another print-in-place design, but when it first came off the plate, it wouldn't spin at all. I thought I had failed or the settings were wrong, but I learned a quick trick. I gave it a little squeeze to break the tiny internal supports, and then washed it with a bit of soap to clear out the friction. Suddenly, it was spinning like it was on ball bearings. I ended up printing 3 of them. It was a great lesson in not giving up on a print just because it feels a little stiff right at first. Day 5. The Endurance Test. By day 5, I was feeling confident, so I went for a longer print. I needed a massive battery storage case for a drawer, but this time I skipped the lid since it was going to live inside a cabinet anyway. This thing holds everything. AA, AAA, those tiny LR44s, and even CR2032 button cells. It was a 7-hour print, which felt like an eternity at the time. I was constantly checking the camera on my phone to make sure it hadn't turned into a spaghetti mess. But when it finished, the walls were incredibly clean. It's easily one of the most organized things I own now. Day 6. The Emergency Fix. On day 6, I actually had a problem to solve. I lost the original 49mm lens cap for my Canon camera. Instead of going online and waiting 2 days for a replacement, I just hopped on my computer, found a file, and printed one. It's a two-part print with a spring mechanism. I use PETG again here because PETG is more flexible and holds up better under tension than regular PLA. This is the ultimate 3D printer owner feeling, when something breaks or goes missing and you just manufacture the solution by yourself in an hour. Day 7. Leveling up. On day 7, I decided to revisit the Pokeball theme, but stepped it up with a great ball. This was designed by the same team as the first one, so I knew the snap fit would be good. But this one used all 4 colors in my AMS. It took about 4 hours and a half, and the complexity of the color swaps was fascinating to watch. The fit and finish were even better than the first one. It's amazing how much you can learn about your printer limits just by pushing the color settings a little further each time. Day 8. The simple solution. Day 8 was a quick one. I printed a small straw cap for my water tumbler. It sounds simple, but I just wanted something to keep flies and dust out when I'm working. If I were doing this properly, I'd probably use TPU, which is a rubbery, flexible filament. But I just used what was already loaded in the machine. It works perfectly for what I need. It's a 15-minute print that solves a daily annoyance, and sometimes those are the best prints of all. Day 9. Personalization. On day 9, I wanted to try adding custom text. I designed a personalized dog bone tag for my dog. I used PETG for the durability, since dogs aren't exactly gentle on their gear. And I used the slicer software to emboss the name directly into the plastic. I just added a standard keychain ring and popped it on the collar. The dog doesn't seem to mind the new hardware, and I got to learn how to manipulate text in the 3D space, which is a skill I'll definitely be using more often. Day 10. The fashion statement. Finally, day 10. I printed a pair of ribbon lace earrings. When you really think about it, the jewelry world is a goldmine for 3D printing. You can make unlimited designs for basically zero cost. These are super lightweight, which is great for earrings. And the detail the P1S managed to get on those tiny lace patterns was incredible. I'm already planning to buy some rainbow silk filament to see how these look with a color shift effect. I think I'm officially done buying expensive earrings from the store. So, that's my first 10 days in a nutshell. I've gone from printing toys to fixing my camera and organizing my entire house. It's been a steep learning curve, but honestly, it's been one of the most rewarding hobbies I've ever picked up. I've linked all the models I used today and the equipment I'm using down in the description if you want to try these prints yourself. If you have any questions about the P1S or what I should print next, let me know in the comments. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to hit that subscribe button to see what I make in the next 30 days. And I'll see you in the next one.